Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Vinny's Take for March 11th, 2020. There's more coronavirus updates, more cancellations, and more just sheer panic going on in America today. Before I get that, give people a chance to get on if they're gonna. What am I watching tonight? Well, I'm watching the Georgia Southern Eagles destroy the Georgia Bulldogs 6-1 in the bottom of the seventh, so not a very good day for the Georgia Bulldogs. But at least there's fans in the stands, which is more than I can say for what's going to be going on soon in the sporting world. All right. Okay. First of all, here in New York State, our college system is called SUNY, State University of New York. And down in the city, it's CUNY, City University of New York. Today, Governor Cuomo announced, well, first of all, before I get to that, my alma mater, SUNY Canton, petitioned the state to be able to move to online courses. And today, Governor Cuomo announced that as of March 19th, all SUNY and CUNY students will be able to return home as they will go to distance learning until further notice. I have a friend who's got a daughter at a upstate New York college, and they live down on Long Island. And although she's excited to be able to have her freshman daughter home, it's also a hardship on a first-year student to have to travel in March all the way down home after having a semester and a half away at college, getting adjusted to life, and then having to come all the way home. The other thing is all these college students that they're now dispersing throughout the state is exactly what they're trying not to do by limiting travel. The NBA announced today that the Golden State Warriors will play their next home game and for the foreseeable future in empty arenas because where they play in San Francisco, the county of Santa Clara has banned large mass gatherings over 1,000 people. And of course, an NBA game would be such a mass gathering. So tomorrow night will be the first NBA game played in an empty arena. Also, that's not all. The NHL, I reported yesterday that the San Jose Sharks home games were going to be in the same jeopardy. They will indeed play empty arenas, as will the Columbus Blue Jackets, as Ohio has also moved to ban mass gatherings. The XFL has announced that the Seattle Dragons? The Seattle Dragons versus LA Wildcats game this weekend will be in an empty stadium. So there is 3 major different sporting leagues that are going to the empty stadiums for limited just cities affected by these gatherings, California and Ohio. Speaking of Ohio came up today and started the panic amongst college sports when they announced that any league game, any NCAA tournament games played in the state of Ohio would be in front of empty arenas. Harvard then said that they are withdrawing and forfeiting their play in the ECAC tournament in hockey. What's this? Now remember, the Ivy League had already come out yesterday and had said that they were canceling the men's and women's college basketball tournaments, and the regular season league champions would automatically advance to the NCAA tournament. The problem I have there is I don't know what the standings are. Let's look it up. Men's basketball Ivy League candidates. So, okay, Yale with an 11-3 record wins the conference regular season record, 11-3 conference record, and a 23-7 overall record. While the Harvard Crimson were 10-4, just one game back. So perfect. That works right into my theory. So Yale wins the regular season record by 1 game. By no means a deciding, convincing fashion win. Get some hand sanitizer here. Harvard, 1 game back, could have a perfect opportunity in a tournament to come back and win the automatic berth to the NCAA tournament, but now they don't get to. Their kids go home. Their basketball season is done because of the panic. You know, playing in front of an empty arena is bad enough, but canceling it outright so the kids don't even get a chance, what they work hard for. But anyway, so Ohio State says no mass gatherings. NCAA games there, empty arenas. ECAC, Harvard comes out. They're not going to attend the ECAC. The Seattle Mariners, they're going to have an opening game home. They'll most likely be playing in front of an empty arena. Again, Washington State, like California, experiencing King County in Washington is one of the hardest hit in the whole nation. But the empty, you can kind of understand the empty arena thing, the empty stadium thing, just to help try to spread this contagion. Tomorrow, the mayor of Tampa will address WrestleMania. Now, the WWE has already come out and said that business as usual, but the mayor of Tampa is going to come out and address WrestleMania and the status of WrestleMania going forward. And there's a lot of panic going on as to what would happen. There's one of three things potentially could happen with this. They could say, okay, we're going to go ahead, business as usual. You're going to have to answer questionnaires before you can get in, whether you've traveled to these countries in the past month or so. So that would limit some fan participation. The next thing they can do is say WrestleMania can go on, but you're going to have an empty stadium. Well, at that point, why even have it at Raymond James Stadium? If you're going to be empty, the whole point of having it in a major football stadium is to pack the crowd with try to get 100,000 people, right? Might as well move it to Amalie Arena, or even worse, Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida, just outside of Tampa and Orlando. But that's tomorrow. We'll find out tomorrow from the mayor of Tampa. I'm sure WWE officials will be there, as it definitely affects them. Then dinner time hits, and more news starts breaking. The NCAA, following the footsteps of the state of Ohio, has announced that all NCAA tournament games for the 2020 tournament will be played in front of empty arenas. There are 68 teams that make the field, 67 games played. Every single one of them from here until April, empty. Not a fan in the stand. Well, that limits the mass gatherings, that's for sure. But what it also does is really takes away from the whole atmosphere of the thing. I mean, but these kids have worked hard, and they deserve a chance to be able to go out there and win a national championship, even if it is going to be perhaps the most unusual tournament ever played. They're still going to get that chance. In fact, a lot of the tournaments that open up tonight, like the ACC, the Big East, Big Ten, are probably going to end up going to that as of tomorrow. University of Georgia advances in the SEC tournament, defeating Mississippi 81-63, so they finally decided to show up and play a little basketball. They're not playing baseball tonight, though, as they still bottom of the seventh, still 6-1. All right, next. So the NCAA tournament, no fans. The NHL then comes out and tries to one-up them. They've already announced now the San Jose Sharks and the Columbus Blue Jackets will be playing in empty arenas. They then come out recently with a report stating they may just postpone the whole season altogether. I don't know if I have that link anymore. Hold on a second. Yeah, here we go. Okay, let's see what this is about. Okay, the Columbus Blue. Okay, yeah, that's about the Blue Jackets. They just announced on TV the next 3 games. Okay, that's not it. Breaking: NHL considering postponing season. This comes from HockeyInsiders.net. With 2 NHL teams set to play their who wrote this? It doesn't say. Set to play their home games in the month of March without fans, the NHL might take another huge step. Both the San Jose Sharks and Columbus Blue Jackets, we already know that, and Golden State Warriors, the NBA. Sam Amick of The Athletic reports the NBA is considering pushing back its entire calendar, not the NBA. Pushing back, the NBA is considering pushing back its entire calendar, and the NHL insider Pierre LeBrun reports the NHL is considering the same. So it's not just the NBA, it's the NBA and the NHL. Now this is coming from a Pierre LeBrun, at Pierre V. LeBrun on Twitter, who writes for The Athletic. It should surprise no one, but a source also suggests to me it also is a possibility for the NHL to delay, push back its season. Not saying it will necessarily happen, just reporting that it's a possibility. So this is just speculation at this point. But speculation usually leads to panic. Panic usually leads to people saying and doing stupid shit. And that's when you're going to have really dumb shit going on. The Ivy League. Now, this one, I need to verify this one. Hold on, what's going on here? Notre Dame advances in the ACC tournament, defeating Boston College 80-58. So my 2 of my 3 teams that I follow have advanced. All right, Ivy League. Okay. From SportsIllustrated.com, SI.com. So it's a verified source. Ivy League cancels spring sports amid coronavirus concerns. By Nick Selby, written 4 hours ago. Ivy League presidents announced Wednesday that all spring sports practices and competitions would be canceled through the end of the academic year. A decision reached by unanimous vote, the league statement. So not only are they taking the unprecedented step like the NBA and NHL to have empty arena games for the next 3 weeks, or, hey, Orange Hat, or like the NCAA holding empty arena tournament for the next 3 to 4 weeks, the Ivy League has come out and said, we're not even going to let anybody play anything. Lacrosse, soccer, soccer's fall. Lacrosse, track and field, baseball, softball, you name it, spring sports are done in the Ivy League. Now, many people say the Ivy League doesn't play sports anyway because they usually don't participate very well. But I think the Ivy League invented sports, collegiate sports in America. Most collegiate sports originated in the Ivy League. So this is unprecedented for an entire league of 10 teams, or no, 8 teams. Columbus, Yale, Princeton, Dartmouth, Harvard, Columbia, Cornell, and I'm missing an 8th. And an 8th university, all done for the spring season. So they'll return in the fall as, America hasn't totally collapsed by then. So people like me who do sports for a living, well, not a living, obviously. I mean, I do sports for a YouTube living, have a lot to talk about with this, but the whole prospect of not having any sports is really kind of scary. All over panic. Panic in America over an illness that is brand new, and that's why. And the way the media is reporting it. And then if you listen to people like Dr. Drew and Dr. Oz, they're saying that the media is driving the panic, and I agree with them. The panic is coming out when you go to Walmart, you go to Wegmans, you go to Tops, you go to any of these stores. Toilet papers are they're empty. Cleaning supplies are empty. I just went to Amazon just see, not that I need toilet paper because I'm smart enough to stock up beforehand. Amazon, you can buy 24 rolls of toilet paper for $31, which isn't a bad deal, but it won't ship until March 29th because they're out of stock. Amazon is out of stock of toilet paper. What are we doing? This virus is not going to enter your system through your ass. It comes in contact through your skin touching your openings in your mouth, your nose, your eyes. It can live on metal surfaces for up to 12 hours. If you sneeze, it can travel 10 feet. What are you doing? Are you walking through your house naked and wiping your ass across a metal surface? But really, honestly, people, we should be washing our hands anyway. We should be sanitizing ourselves anyway. We should be wiping our asses anyway. You want to contain the spread of anything, especially during flu season. I reported yesterday on how Hollywood studios are going to start canceling things like Marvel. Marvel postponing the rest of the filming of Winter Soldier, the next Captain America series movie, until further notice, sending all them actors home. Because California's being hit hard. New York, there's some... let's see if I can get the empirical data here. New York State coronavirus map. Okay. Governor Cuomo today has put a containment area around New Rochelle, New York, using the National Guard. The U.S. coronavirus cases, this is from the New York Times, so we know that they're always telling the truth. They're always reporting factual information. America has scrambled to understand the scope of escalating public health crisis. Here's where you're using words like crisis and pandemic. And people don't even understand what pandemic means. On Wednesday, signaling that the cases would surpass 1,200. 1,200 on both coasts. Oddly enough, West Virginia and Alabama don't have any, and they're kind of everybody surrounding them. And most of the cases in New York State are centered around Westchester County in New York City. The major cities are getting hit. If you look at this map, you go to the New York Times, you can see this coronavirus /US/cases map. and you can see it's around major cities. Missouri, it's Kansas City. Kansas, it's in whatever cities are on the border. Is that Lincoln, Colorado, a lot around Colorado Springs and Denver. Again, weirdly enough, nothing in Las Vegas. Maybe that was Phoenix and Arizona. San Diego has a little bit. Los Angeles and San Francisco are getting hit bad. New York City, Boston, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Atlanta, Houston, and Dallas, and San Antonio, Seattle. Seattle is getting killed, pummeled. Portland. So again, it's the major cities that are getting hit. Right. Well, exactly, Orange Hat. Pandemic means globally encompassing. So a pandemic is not the zombie apocalypse. It is not the end of the world. It just means that it is spread throughout the globe in a relatively quick amount of time. That doesn't mean you need to go buy all the toilet paper so that your neighbors can't have any. What's the next run going to be on? Bread, water. This is not the zombie apocalypse. We are not losing our internet. This is not going to be like the NBC's Revolution from about 7-8 years ago, where the whole power grid goes down and we're back to the Stone Ages. This is a virus. This is an illness. There have been illnesses that have spread throughout the world for the last 20 years. Every couple of years, seems like every election year, something happens. SARS. Let me see if I can find that one. Election year viruses. PolitiFact. Well, PolitiFact. Here's one. They're supposed to be an independent. They say it's false. They say okay, no connection between U.S. national elections. Well, not necessarily that there's a connection. SARS was 2003, so yeah, people are manipulating the fact. No, it actually was stopped by July 2003. But let me use this to mention that the diseases that have spread. Avian flu. It didn't last 20 years. H1N1, H5N1, swine flu. So diseases pop up, and whether or not they're connected to elections or not, MERS, whatever. These pop up. They happen. This is nothing new. It's a new virus, yes, but it's nothing new. Once we learn how to contain it, and once we learn or can develop a vaccine, it'll go away, or it'll become like a lot of illnesses, something you deal with. The reason there's panic is because it's new. It wasn't around 3-4 months ago. It's spread through the country quickly because we live in a nation that travels. We live in a world that travels. People get on the plane all the time and fly. You come into contact with somebody who might be carrying something you don't know. If it's a 14-day incubation period, within 14 days, you can travel very far. And it is what it is. Top of the 8th now, still 6-1, but Georgia's up to bat, and they got 2 outs and a batter on first. 2-2 pitch, struck him out, 2-3 outs. So we're heading to the bottom of the 8th. Georgia Southern's the home team, so Georgia's got one more shot at it. Anyway, I don't know if I'll be doing these videos every night. No, President Trump is now addressing the country.
Due to coronavirus, I will be asking Congress to take legislative action to extend this.
Can you hear this? Okay, so if you didn't hear, basically what he's saying, he's trying to work with Congress, put politics aside, and get payroll relief, tax payment relief, among some other things, try and help keep the economy going and help keep people safe. So anyway, that's my report. That's my update. A lot of empty arena games. The Ivy League canceling an entire season, an entire sports season, not just one school's. More so than when Duke canceled lacrosse back in, I believe, 2004 over allegations of rape. The Ivy League has decided to cancel an entire sports calendar, the spring calendar. Just recapping, SUNY and CUNY schools are being sent home. Students are being sent home as of March 19th. The Warriors and Nets will play the first game tomorrow in front of an empty arena in the NBA, and the Warriors and San Jose Sharks will be playing home games empty. The XFL, the Seattle Dragons, also will be having a game played in front of an empty arena. The Ohio tournaments first announced that NCAA tournament games in Ohio would be in front of empty. The NCAA then followed and said all NCAA tournaments will be empty. The Seattle Mariners are going to be affected. WrestleMania, big announcement coming tomorrow from the mayor of Tampa. The NCAA, the NHL, and NBA, according to a tweet by The Athletic, is considering postponing their entire calendar. We're living in a world of panic. We are living in a world of misinformation and disinformation. We are living in a world that no matter what one party says, somebody else is not only just going to hate it, they're going to rip you apart for it. I am actually surprised that none of my videos have had that happen. Of course, I only get 5 to 10 viewers anyway, so. And we are living in a world where the Georgia Bulldogs can't seem to play baseball tonight. So thanks for joining us. If you are a member of Classic Sports Club on Facebook, make sure you tune in at 10 o'clock to talk about a retro view, and I'll be discussing it here on YouTube after about 11:30 tonight, the 1990 regional final between Duke and Connecticut. So until then, I'm Vinny Vincent. God bless America.